Hello, everybody, and welcome to our session on how to propose a session for a MARAC conference. I'm Amanda May, together with my colleague Josette Schluter, and we're here as the co-chairs of the upcoming Fall 2023 conference in Saratoga Springs. We hope that this session is very helpful for you as you put together your proposals, and we hope to get quality session proposals for our upcoming conference. This session is being recorded and will be available on YouTube after today. Thank you. So here's an outline of what we're going to be talking about today. We want to talk about what a call for proposals is. We also want to talk about what goes into a proposal and how you can put one together. We'll talk about the collaboration spreadsheet and other ways of asking for help with putting your proposal together. Finally, we will talk about what comes next after submitting your proposal. Our first topic is what is a call for proposals? A call for proposals is an email that will go out to the membership of MARAC, which will hopefully get some responses for ideas that will be covered by the upcoming conference. It will introduce the theme of the conference and talk about what types of sessions are desired by the program committee. It will link to a form that you can use to submit your proposal. This call is being sent out by the program committee to MARAC members and the broader archival community for content that reflects current practices and topics of discussion. You can submit a proposal about any type of session, any format, any included participants, and that proposal will be evaluated by the program committee, which has been put together to put the program together. Please try to fill the format as completely as possible because the committee will use that information to evaluate your proposal. The program committee will help you make your session the best it can be. And we are open for helping you put things together and for adding information, for helping do a pre-evaluation if you're worried about your proposal. And we are open to any sort of aid that we can share. I'm going to pass this on to Josette, who will talk about what goes into a proposal.
Thank you very much. Okay, one of the main things about putting together a proposal is your topic or title. So what are you going to talk about? This can be any range of things. It can be current and new practices and techniques within the profession that are up and coming. It could be a discussion of topics and issues that we are currently, that are currently impacting our profession. It could be a discussion on how current events are changing the way that we do the things that we do in our profession. We also, from time to time, have folks who, a lot of us are lone arrangers, and so we don't get a chance to kind of talk about what it is that we get to do in our institution. So a session could be a expansion on something that your institution has just done that, is kind of neat and exciting. It could also be an expansion on a poster that you presented at a previous conference that you felt needed further discussion and explanation. We also like to highlight the local history and historical research of the areas that we will be at for our conference. So that's also an area that you could use for your proposal. Next slide. The next component is the characters or the folks that are going to be in the session. As the person proposing the session, are you going to talk? Are you going to present? Are you going to be there participating in the session, or are you just the moderator introducing your panelists and that's all you're going to do? The number of people that are speaking is usually based upon the type of session that you are planning to have. The 1 to 2 for an instruction or debate, 3 to 4 for panel, and for the small lightning talks, usually a larger presentation panel of 6 to 10 people. how to find your presenters. These are people within your institution that you work with, people that you've networked with through other conferences and school. The collaborative spreadsheet that Amanda mentioned and will explain later in the presentation. And then there's always, you can ask the program committee for help, because that is what we are there for, to help you make your session the best session it could possibly be. Next slide. Format is a very, very broad area of how you want your session to be run. The most typical one that is held at most MARAC conferences are the panel discussions, which usually are 3 to 4 people talking about a central topic. And these are usually your more formal presentations. The next is the Pecha Kucha or lightning talks, which is a larger group of panelists who do small, quick, highlight reel presentations that aren't a lot of content, but at least enough to kind of give you an idea of what they're talking about and maybe spark your interest to have a discussion later on. We also have mini workshops, which are led by 1 to 2 instructors who dive in on some type of practical instruction on a skill set. There's the possibility of hosting a debate in your session. This is usually, led by 1 moderator and 2 debaters who take on a pro and con stance. You could possibly do a demonstration or tech talk about something that is new in the archival profession, a new type of software or hardware that many institutions are interested in learning about, and you invite folks who have already used that software to demonstrate and expand upon their experience with it. And then lastly, we have the brainstorming birds of the feather sessions, which is usually 1 person moderating the entire session, attendees in a conversation about a topic or a problem or an issue that is impacting the demographic. Next slide. 100% experiment. There is absolutely no wrong way to do a session. We want to promote archival education, discussion, and achievement. So if you have an idea, it's going to be an exciting thing to talk about. So step out there and go for it, because there are many ways to do this. Next slide.
Okay, so now I would like to talk about different ways to ask for help, different ways to work with others to make your proposal as good as it can be. So this is an example of a call for proposals spreadsheet, the collaboration spreadsheet. You'll notice that with some of the example information that I've input into this template, it's an informal space where multiple people can contribute and try to find different similar ideas of folks that can speak on a topic, especially if you don't know others who have gone through this sort of an experience. So one way that you could use this would be that you have an idea about a session and you want to put that information out there to see who else might be able to speak about this topic. So in that case, you would fill out columns A and B with your a possible name of your session, a description of your session, so that others can have the information to be able to work with. You would also put your name, your institution, your email, just so that people could contact you directly to help put together this session. Others who might be interested in working on this session could put their information in column F. In order to sort of volunteer to share their experiences as part of this session. Another thing that you could do would be to just put your information in letter F in column F in order to volunteer that you have various experiences that you might be available to work on. This would be useful if you were interested in speaking, but you weren't entirely sure about what you wanted to speak on, but you maybe had a plethora of topics that you would be able to speak about. So this collaboration spreadsheet will be linked with the call for proposals. That is something that happens with every single conference, and it's a way of encouraging a more diverse set of perspectives from our membership. The collaboration spreadsheet is only one way that you can ask for help. If you don't have all the pieces for your proposal, that is just fine. The program committee can also help you find more pieces of your puzzle. The collaboration spreadsheet is not submitting your proposal. It is simply a way to find all the pieces before you actually do your formal submission. The program committee won't necessarily be monitoring that collaboration spreadsheet and seeing that as a final proposal. Rather, somebody who's involved with the proposal will need to go through and formally submit. So you can find more panelists for your session or find a moderator who's familiar with the topic. You can also volunteer yourself as a part of somebody else's session. You can volunteer yourself as a general speaker, and the collaboration spreadsheet can be very helpful. The program committee can help. The contact information can be found on the MARAC website, specifically on the web page that is related to the conference. The co-chairs, mine and Josette's information will also be sent out with the call for proposals for the Saratoga committee, and future conferences will send out the co-chairs information as well. So what happens after you submit your proposal? Josette will speak about this.
Thanks, Amanda. Congratulations, your session was chosen. So once this happens, the program committee will assign a member of that committee to be your point of contact to help you finalize any further details on your session. There is a possibility that you may need to broaden or narrow your topic or otherwise adjust the session you had proposed based upon what the program committee has decided as kind of their general theme for the session, for the conference as a whole. They may ask you to, make your topic larger just so that more people would be able to participate in that session. Occasionally, as Amanda mentioned on the collaborations spreadsheet, folks have an idea, but they don't have all the pieces. And so sometimes the program committee will pair together like sessions. So you may find yourself working with another session proposer to maximize your session. And this is not because we're trying to limit the sessions that we have. It's just we want to get as many people speaking about a topic as possible in the short amount of time that we have at our MARAC conferences. Next slide. Editing and preparing your preparation for your proposal is, as we're stating, getting your session ready for the conference. As the proposer for the session, you will be asked to edit the entry in the program for the conference, making sure to check the names of your presenters and their institutions for accuracy, to double check the session synopsis before the program is published. Many times folks will propose something in the call for proposal session, and as they're working on their proposal, it changes a little bit. So your initial proposal might not match what your final presentation is. So there may be some tweaking that you need to do. You will need to prepare a presentation of some sort. This could mean creating some type of slideshow or visual aid for the members who will be attending your session. Coordinating and discussing the timing of your panelists in your session, determining if you're having a typical panel discussion, determining what your speaker order is and what other logistics you need from your your panel. Make sure to rehearse because you want to come in and give the best presentation that you possibly can. And one of those would be to brush up on the etiquette of speaking in a microphone. And we do stress that you want to make sure that you are speaking into the microphone, even if you have a very loud, booming voice, because sometimes sessions are recorded. And so the mic is the way that that happens. And you never know when there's somebody using some sort of audio device that is connected to our microphones so that to enable their ability to participate in the session. Lastly, making travel arrangements and registering for the conference if needed. You are not necessarily obligated to register for the conference if you are only planning to be in the session that you are presenting. However, you do want to make sure that you do register and are ready for the conference if you plan to attend the entire conference. Next slide. Money. Total, this is our disclaimer slide. MARAC does not pay for speakers to attend the conference. If you find yourself needing some sort of financial assistance to be able to attend, MARAC offers a number of scholarships to help underwrite the cost of attending. Those scholarships include the Trimble, the Klein, and the Stewart scholarships. Additionally, the Diversity and Inclusion Session Scholarship is awarded to one session that promotes a discussion in the topics of diversity and inclusion. And from time to time, the steering committee may make additional conference scholarship funds available. So do not let financial finances determine whether or not you're going to propose a session. Next slide.
Okay, on the day of the conference, you're going to show up to the conference and to your assigned room, which is going to be in the online program. Please show up before your presentation and be ready to present. You're going to check in with your program committee point of contact, who will be waiting there in the room. When it's time, present. I do want to emphasize that you do want to speak into the microphone, even if you have a loud voice. As a person with hearing issues, it is so much clearer to hear the amplified sound through the speaker system rather than the loud voice, which may not be as loud as the presenter thought that they were, may echo in weird ways. It's much better to speak into the microphone, please. After your presentation, there's probably going to be time for your answering questions. And then there's time to make connections with other conference attendees. Be ready to speak a little bit more about your topic if people are interested in speaking to you about it. This is a really great way to make yourself and your work known in the Mid-Atlantic archival community. MARAC conferences are wonderful networking opportunities, and people usually have plenty of questions, so be ready to answer them. Your final step after the conference would be to submit any visual aids, any sort of record of your topic to the digital repository at the University of Maryland, otherwise known as DRUM. There will be a call sent out by your program committee point of contact, by the program committee co-chairs to the general membership. You'll probably get several emails on this topic for how to submit and reminding you to do so. This is our long-term record of what we spoke about and how it was spoken about at the conference. So we really encourage you to submit your slides to DRUM. And that concludes our presentation, and we thank you so much for participating. If you have any further questions about your upcoming conferences and the program thereof, please contact your program committee co-chairs, whose information is on the website. Whether it's us for the fall 2023 conference or any future conference, the program co-chairs are thrilled to answer any questions that you may have to make your submissions as excellent as possible. Thank you.